Last fall, I went apple picking in an orchard. The farmer sold apples, apple cider, apple jam, and dried apples with the skin on. I laughed and said, "You use everything except the seeds." He smiled and said, "We use those too." Can you think of how a farmer might use seeds? Think for a while, and then tap the glowing circles to discover a little more. There were lots of animals in the orchard, but the farmer didn't mind too much. He said, "The bugs and animals help spread the seeds, but I have to shoo them away when the apples start to grow, or they'll eat them all up." The farmer took an apple from the tree. He cut it open and showed me the little brown seeds. Then he gave me the seeds and said, "Take these home and plant them and see if an apple tree will grow." The farmer showed me a small apple tree. He said that it can take 4 or 5 years for the tree to grow big enough to make apples. Then it will grow pretty pink blossoms and crunchy apples. If I plant my seeds, I wonder if some will grow into apple trees. Welcome to the lesson, How do plants grow and change? You probably already know that all plants have certain needs and certain parts. In this lesson, you'll discover how these parts help a plant grow and change. The vocabulary words for this lesson are seed, sprout, seedling, adult plant, and flower. Click each word to find out more about it.
Sprout, a small plant that begins to grow from a seed when it gets enough water and light. Seed, the part of a plant from which a new plant grows. Adult plant, a plant that is fully grown. Seedling, a young plant that grows from a seed. Flower, the part of a plant that makes seeds.
Can you imagine a flower as big as a bathtub? This plant is for real. Even though it's really big, it still goes through the same changes as smaller plants do as it grows. Let's find out what these are. Plants start off small. Most begin life as a seed. Click the picture at the top left to find out how a seed becomes a plant. Seeds form inside the flowers of many plants. The seed has a coat which protects the tiny plant developing inside. The seed needs air and water before the plant will sprout. The seed also has to be warm. Once the plant starts growing, it will break through its seed coat. As the sprout develops, it will grow roots, a stem, and leaves. This young seedling has grown from a seed, but will need space to grow. As it grows, it looks like its parent. The colors may be a little different at times, but the shape of the leaves is often the same. The seedling has grown into an adult plant, which will produce flowers, fruit, seeds, and more plants. This is called a life cycle. You've learned a lot about how plants grow and change. Before we finish, let's check the main points you've covered. Seeds grow in the flower. In some plants, the flower forms a fruit, and the seed grows inside. Seeds that have the right amounts of soil and water will sprout, and a new plant begins to grow. This new plant is called a seedling. If it has the right amounts of air, light, water, space to grow, and nutrients, it will grow big and strong. Over time, the seedling grows into an adult plant. The young plants often look very much like their parents. The journey from seed to adulthood is called a life cycle. Now that you've finished this lesson, if you wish, you can go back and review any part of the lesson again.